Hello and welcome. Happy Monday. My name is Jen from smartypantsfinance.com and welcome to our free mystery shopping training. Today we're going to talk about technology tools, things to make the job easier so that when you're mystery shopping, you're saving time and making more money because you're not spending too much time on reports and all of that. So a little bit about me. I've been mystery shopping since 2004. I have made thousands of dollars every year over the course of the last 16 years. I'm still making money mystery shopping because things are starting to open back up. I did a couple mystery shops this morning, and I've also traveled all over the world mystery shopping. So today we're going to talk about technology tools and how it can make all of your assignments go quicker, easier, so that you can actually just get more work done. And as it pertains to hotel mystery shopping, which is like my favorite, so you can end up with more free time. So, okay, so let's talk about technology. So the first thing is that the technology has to be working for you for it to be helpful. So if you're trying out an app or some kind of tool on your computer and it actually makes your work harder and it makes it more complicated for you, don't keep using it. You know, you don't want to use tools that actually are not productive and that make your life more complicated. Sometimes when you try a new app, it takes a few times to get used to it. So, you know, give it a shot. But anything I suggest, if you try it out and you think, nah, I kind of like my old way, you know, stick with what works best for you because you're really trying to, you know, save yourself some time, save yourself aggravation. And any tool that helps with that is a good one. Any tool that makes things harder for you, you know, you don't need to use a tool that isn't helpful. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about basically the Google tools that I use. These are ones I use for almost every assignment. I love Google products like Google Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Docs, Google Drive. I think it works really well. It's free, so there's an advantage there over some other word processing and other types of programs where you have to pay for them. So the first one is Google Gmail. So if you have a Google account, you have access to all of the Google apps and things that they offer for free up until a certain point. So usually there's they give you a limit of the amount of memory and data you can have, like as far as pictures and documents and all storage for free. I've been using the same Gmail account for over 10 years and I still have never reached the capacity of the storage that they give me. So don't let that deter you. So if you get a Google account, you can use their Gmail. I love Gmail because I can sync it on my computer and on my phone. I can see it in either place. So basically, the best thing about Google products is that they live like in the cloud. They live online. So if you have a calendar that's just on your computer, you have to be at your computer to see it. Or if you have a calendar that's just on your phone, you have to be looking at your phone to see it. With Google products, since everything kind of goes out into the cyberspace, into the cloud, then you can see it no matter where you are. So you could log in on a computer in the library and you could access your calendar. You could log in on your computer, on a tablet, if you're visiting family during the summer, you could log on a computer that they have and see all of your Google stuff. And that's one of the things I love about it is that it lives outside of your device. So I use Gmail. I like it because I can color code the assignments. So all of my mystery shopping assignments, I color code them red. So if I look at my calendar, I can see like the week, I can see all of the red, means I have a bunch of mystery shops lined up. I also like it because they have the option to set notifications. So I can have it give me a little, an email or a little alert on my phone, like 15 minutes before an assignment or the day before an assignment or 10 hours before. You can set it for whatever you want. And it's just a really great way so you don't accidentally forget, especially during summer, it's really easy to kind of like lose track of time. The next thing I use for Google is, so it's the mail, Gmail, and the calendar. And then I use Google Keep Notes. And I think I've mentioned this in several of my videos. So Google Keep Notes is an app you can connect, put on your phone. It's also an extension you can add onto your computer if you're using Google Chrome as your browser. And what I love about Keep Notes is it's just like what I was saying about how you can access your calendar or your Gmail from anywhere because it lives in the cloud. So if you put a note on your phone, like when you're on a mystery shopping assignment, then when you go home to your computer, the note is going to be there too. So you have it in two different places. What I do is when I go on an assignment, like this morning, I did 2 assignments. As soon as I'm walking up to, the store or the restaurant, I open up a new note. I title the note wherever I am. So let's say Dunkin' Donuts, and I'll type in the time that I arrive, because usually you have to put in the time you arrive and the time you leave. And then I just put my phone back in my purse or my pocket, and I go start the assignment. During the assignment, I can pull out my phone and look at that same note that I've already started, and I can type in small little, like, it's shorthand, like if the girl's name was Stephanie, I can just type in Stephanie, if that's the person, my server. Or if it took, if it took 2 minutes and 30 seconds to get my order, I can just type in 2 minutes, 30 seconds, like super shorthand notes. But those notes then are now both on my computer and on my phone, and I can access them from everywhere. Google Keep Notes also gives you the option to add pictures to your notes. So let's say you're doing a restaurant assignment, you're taking little notes during dinner, about timings and things that are happening. There's also an option you can add photo, and then you can take a picture of your food, which I think is super helpful to have a picture of the food, because later when you describe the food in the report, oftentimes you're like, can't really remember maybe all the parts of it. And so if you have a picture, you can go back and look at what exactly was in the salad or what was on the sandwich. So if you click take photo, it'll put a photo right in the note. So then when you go home and you're writing your report up, you pull up that note and you can see the picture, you can see all of your notes all in one place. Also, and I found this option last night, and I don't know if it's new or I just never seen it before, but in Google Keep Notes, there's a little microphone, and you can click on the microphone and it'll immediately start listening, and you can dictate a note. Now, the great thing about it is you can dictate, like sometimes when I leave a store, after I've done an assignment, as I'm walking back to my car, I'll start to dictate the important things that happened that I didn't get a chance to write down. So I'll just be talking into my phone, saying all the stuff that happened, like the cashier's name, how long I waited in line, what did she say to me when she gave me my receipt, basically important stuff. As I dictate it in the Keep Notes, it's actually transcribing it also. So when you open up that note, you're going to see a little recording, and you can play the recording, you can hear what you've just spoken, and it's actually typed out for you. So I'm going to start using that. I think it's a great tool. And that also works because sometimes mystery shopping, you can actually record interactions that you're having with people. You have to be careful because certain states, it isn't legal to record people without them knowing. But if you're in a place where it's okay to record things, if you record using that app, it'll also it'll transcribe it for you, which I think I'm going to try that. That is such a great tool. Also in Google Keep Notes, when I'm just taking a regular note that I type into myself, my keyboard has a little microphone on it. And I use SwiftKey by Microsoft. It's a SwiftKey keyboard. And in the on the keyboard is a little microphone. If I click the microphone, I can talk notes into my note, or I can talk notes into my note. So in the Google Keep Notes, you can either be typing notes, you can start talking notes in the same note, so you don't need to switch to a different app. And so it's really helpful. Sometimes it's hard to type things out, especially like if you're walking. A lot of times I talk my mystery shopping notes into my phone as I'm walking, like walking in the mall, walking back to my car. I've done it in cities. If I'm walking back to my hotel, I might, talk notes into it because I don't want to be staring at my phone because I might trip or fall or whatever. So I can be walking safely and talking the notes into the Google Keep Note. And then I get back to my computer and the note is right there. I do this all the time on hotel assignments. Sometimes I've even done it in the elevator or walking in the corridors. Just talk the notes in about something that just happened, like on the way back from the spa at a hotel job, maybe, writing, talking in the name of the person. You want to do it in a way that no one's hearing you. Obviously, you don't want to sound like you're dictating notes, but if you just put the phone real close to your face, you can talk very softly and it'll pick it up and then it'll dictate exactly what you said. So I love Google Keep Notes. I use it for all of my mystery shopping assignments. Another thing I use is Google Docs. So this is basically Google's version of word processing program. So like you have Microsoft Word, you can write documents. That's how I used to use the Word documents, except Microsoft, I think, always charges for using their product. So you might get it for, you might get Microsoft free on your computer if you buy a new computer. But like at this point, I would have to actually go buy another license to Microsoft, or like either a disc or an online license. And I like Google Docs because it's just free. I'm not going to buy anything that I can get for free. And it works just as well as Microsoft Word. So when I'm on an or after an assignment and I'm writing up the narrative, which is like the story part of what I experienced on the job, I'll open up a Google Doc, like start a new one, I title it, and then I just start typing away. On hotels, I have one big document that I use for the entire hotel stay. I have it organized by, like restaurant section, the pool section, the valet section, the guest room section. It's all kind of organized, but I'm using that one document the whole time. Now, what's awesome about this is that you can open the document on your phone. You can open the same document on a tablet. You can open it on your computer because, again, it's living in the cloud. So you don't have to be on your computer to see that document, which I think is more of a disadvantage with Microsoft Word because you actually would have to be at that computer to access it. Another great tip for Google Docs is because it is cloud-based, you have to have access to the internet to start a new document or to work on one. But they have an option if you go to File, I believe, and you drop down to Make Available Offline, then that document can now be worked on when you're offline. So when I'm on hotel assignments, this is really key because I'll have internet access at the hotel, but as soon as I get in the taxi or get back to the airport to fly home, I may not have internet access, but I really want to use that time to work on the report. I've gone to Europe several times in the last few years on hotel assignments, and it's about a 12-hour flight from Los Angeles over to Europe. So with that 12 hours, I could get the entire hotel report finished and ready to be submitted. And if I make my Google Doc available offline, then when I'm on the airplane and I have no internet access or Wi-Fi, I can just open my computer, I can pull up the document, and I can work on it, I can save things in it, and I'm not going to lose anything. Or if I didn't make it available offline, I wouldn't be able to access it. So you want to make sure you do that. Take advantage, especially these hotel jobs can end up being a lot of work. So you want to find those times, like especially if you're sitting on an airplane for 13 hours, you definitely want to devote some of that time to working on the narrative. And using Google Docs offline is an awesome way to do that. Okay, so some other apps I use are for cameras. So most cell phones have a stock camera that comes with the phone. If you have a good camera, then that's great. If your camera is not that good, you have so many free options. If you just go to, it depends if you have an iPhone or an Android, but you just go to the App Store and you can find a lot of free cameras. My stock camera is pretty good actually it's great on my phone, except some assignments require special things. So I have actually 3 camera apps that I use. So the first one's just my regular camera. Most of the time I use that. But there are some assignments that I've had where I was supposed to have the time and date actually stamped on the picture. So anytime you take a picture with a cell phone, it usually records where you are and when you take it, but it's kind of embedded. You don't see that information unless you go to the details. But this particular assignment wanted me to actually take a picture where you could see, July 6, 2020, 12:43 p.m. on the photo. So I found an app. It's called Timestamp Free. And when I need an app that puts the time and date on the picture, I just use that app instead of my regular camera app, and it works great. All the apps I use are free. I have never paid for an app. Most apps have like a version that's free and then they have an upgrade where it has more features. I've always figured that, the free features are usually good enough. I don't upgrade and I don't spend any money doing all this stuff because I'm trying to make money, not spend it. So it's called Timestamp Free. Oh, and I will also put a link to all of these apps. I'll make a document and post it on the Facebook page. And then you can see and find them for your own device. And the other app I use is called Camera Zoom X. And the reason I started using this one is because there are these hotel assignments that I do where they have very specific requirements for how the picture should be formatted and the dimensions that the picture size should be. My stock camera didn't have that option, so Camera Zoom X actually lets you set the exact size of the photo that you're going to submit, and then every photo is the same. It's exactly the right size as what the mystery shopping company requires. Because what I used to do back in the old days before I had cell phone and I was doing all these hotel jobs is I'd use my 35mm camera. I would transfer the pictures from my 35mm, this is like 2006, transfer all those pictures to my computer. I'd have to format all of them and make them smaller. Then I'd have to manually upload every single picture into the report. And sometimes there were like 80 pictures, and I think I could do about 10 at a time. It took forever. So being able to have an app, a camera app, actually just make the picture the exact same dimensions that the mystery shopping company wants, that's way better than taking that extra step to have to change the picture after you've taken it. And also just with cameras, you know, you can't use point and shoot cameras on mystery shopping assignments anymore without like standing out. So I encourage anyone who has a cell phone but doesn't really comfortable with the camera, just practice with it. Like practice at home, practice taking pictures of people, practice taking pictures, you know, outside of your house, so that you can open the app, take the picture, put the phone away, and you don't come off as someone who's taking a picture for a mystery shopping assignment. You want to do it quick, kind of subtle, and, you know, just stay under the radar. So sometimes it takes practice because, you know, sometimes using phones and apps is difficult. Okay. Mystery shopping companies sometimes have their own app. So any company you sign up for, if you see on their website, or maybe they put it in their email that they have an app, try it out. It should be free. I'm starting to see that more and more. So definitely take advantage and look at those. But there are two major apps that I use for different mystery shopping companies. So there are two major platforms that mystery shopping companies use. One is the Sassy platform, and then one is the Shopmetrics platform. So as you start signing up with mystery shopping companies, if you're new, you're going to see that some of the mystery shopping companies' websites all kind of look similar, because they're using the Sassy platform or because they're using Shopmetrics. So Sassy has an app called Presto InstaShops. So I have the app on my phone. It's way easier than going on your computer and logging in. So I open up the app and it immediately finds me because I've let it know my location, and it shows me all of the assignments in my area. And I can click on one, I can look and see if it's something I want to take, and I can easily just accept it right there on my phone. This is super helpful because if you're out and about and maybe you have, you know, like you're supposed to pick up your kids, but your kids are running late, and you can, you know, just open up your phone, see if there's a job nearby, take it, go do it. It's a really good option compared to just coming on your computer and searching for jobs. Plus, on the InstaShops app, you can see lots of mystery shopping companies at once. So instead of going mystery shopping company by mystery shopping company and searching their job boards, you can search the Sassy assignments that are in your area. You can also change it so you can see a bigger area. So, you know, I think the radius it shows me is about 3 or 4 miles. But I can look, you know, beyond that, because maybe I'm going to go up to Los Angeles or San Diego and I want to see what jobs are in those areas too. One of my favorite apps, though, even better, I think, than the Presto InstaShops, is the Mobi Audit app. So it's Mobi, M-O-B-I, Audit. And this works with the Shopmetrics platforms. So if you're with a company that uses Shopmetrics, most of the time, at least I've always been able to connect my Shopmetrics account with the Mobi Audit app. So like Ipsos and Mercantile Systems and Coil Hospitality and Sentry, I believe, and Strategic Reflections, those are the only ones that come to mind. Maybe About Face or Ace, they use Shopmetrics. So I can open up my Mobi Audit app and see all of the jobs I have with all of those different companies in one place. What I really like about it, though, is that the app makes putting in the reports super easy. So I have a couple of assignments for Ipsos coming up, and I have my Ipsos account connected to this Mobi Audit app. And again, it's just one app. So if I had an assignment with Coil and Sentry and Ipsos all scheduled, all of those assignments are going to show up in this one app. I don't have to like log into different accounts, which makes it easy. So when I go do the assignment, using Mobi Audit, I can just open it up. And now it shows me the questions, but I can just tap like yes or no answers. I think it's a lot faster than doing it on a computer and like point and click with a mouse or with a touchpad. So you can just quickly answer the questions in the app. And then also my favorite part is that where they require a picture, because a lot of assignments require pictures, especially hotel assignments, they always want photos. So it'll say attach photo, like attach photo of the guest room. So you can use the app and take a picture right within the app, and it puts it right into the report. So instead of using your camera app to take a picture and then moving that photo into the report, if you use Mobi Audit, you take the picture in the app and it goes directly into the report and you don't have to move it. I love it. It also, the picture gets saved on your phone, or at least on my phone, so that if something does go wrong with the report, you don't lose the picture because it's stored somewhere else. But it saves that extra step of like moving pictures into reports because it's already there. I use that all the time in hotel assignments where they're on the ShopMetrics platform. I do all of the pictures from the Mobi Audit app. It makes it so much more time efficient, and then all the pictures are already in there, and like a lot of the report is done without me having to take a second step. So I would definitely recommend that if you're signed up with ShopMetrics companies. Other apps I use, one is called Cam Scanner, and it's free as well. And most of these have like a paid version, but just do the free one. So Cam Scanner is like a scanning app that you can put on your phone. But honestly, it makes things look better than they do in real life. So most of the time when I'm taking a picture of a receipt, I just use my stock camera on my phone because it works fine. But if you have a receipt that's not in the best condition, maybe it's faded, maybe you put it in your pocket, and like receipts, once they're wrinkled, they never ever go back to what they were. That paper is like kind of crinkly. So if you use the Cam Scanner app, it can actually make a wrinkled receipt look nice and flat. It'll brighten the colors, it'll just be a better quality receipt to submit to the mystery shopping company. So I love that app. Grammarly is another good one. It's also free. You can put Grammarly on your computer and it'll check any document that you're typing up, even your emails, which is really helpful because if spelling and grammar are not your strength, you can have someone Grammarly telling you what you need to fix, and then you can fix things before you send it. It'll also check your Google Docs so that as you're typing, you can, be correcting all those errors so that the editor doesn't have to do it for you. And you can put Grammarly on your phone. So if you're working on a report on your phone, it'll find the errors there too and alert you. So I love that app. It's free. It works really great. Other mystery shopping specific apps I use are Mystery Shop Watch. And that is where it'll keep track of timings. So a lot of times when you go into a restaurant, they want to know like the time you entered, the time you got into line, the time you reached the ordering person, and the time you reach the cashier, and the time you got your food. It's a lot of timings. You can use a watch. You can use a regular stopwatch on your phone. Find a system that you can actually keep track of. But the Mystery Shop Watch allows you to start. You just push start, and then every time a new thing happens, you can add a marker. So the time keeps going, but you have little markers along the way, and each marker can represent a different thing that you had at time. So let's say, for instance, I was going into a restaurant. I will push start when I get in the restaurant, and then I'll put a marker when I get up to the person who takes my order. And then and you're doing this without anyone seeing, you just have the app open, you could just touch it. I'll put a marker in when I get to the cashier. I'll put a marker in when my food gets delivered, and then I'll stop the timing unless I don't remember. One time I forgot to stop the timing and it was like 18 hours later. It just kept going in the background, which proved to me it works really well. But you stop it, and then later when you're writing your report, you see the exact time that every single thing happened so that you are confident that you're giving the most accurate information to the mystery shopping company, and the app is remembering it for you as opposed to you looking at a watch and having to think, okay, 7:31 p.m., 7:33 p.m., and you kind of trying to have to keep track of it just mentally. Another app I use is called Shop It, and this is one where you can take notes in the app. but it looks like you're texting someone. So that is one thing to be careful of. Like when I use Google Notes, I turn the brightness down on my phone. So if for some reason someone got close enough to be able to look over my shoulder, or if I put my phone down on the table and someone could see it, they wouldn't see that I'm taking notes. So if you're worried about that and just want to be a little extra cautious, Shop It. You take notes, but it ends up looking like a text conversation because each note kind of looks like you're going back and forth talking to someone. So that's a really good option. They have a paid version. I don't know if it's like $14 or $15, where you can also do recording within the app and video within the app. And I have some friends that do that. I just use the free version, and I use Google Keep Notes more than that app anyway, but that is an option. GeoVerify is another app. You'll see on some reports they have a put your GeoVerify code here. So you get that from this app. So the app basically finds exactly where you are. It'll pinpoint your location and then give you like a 6 or 7 digit code. You put that code in the report, and then the mystery shopping company can verify that you were at the right McDonald's or the right Denny's, because it knows the exact location where you're supposed to be. I think that I haven't seen as much of that lately. It used to be a requirement for some assignments. So if you get an assignment where it says a GeoVerify code is required, you just put the app on your phone and do any app that you want to use on a mystery shopping assignment. Make sure you do it when you're home and you're connected to Wi-Fi. You definitely don't want to be in the parking lot trying to download apps, because sometimes you just, you don't have the data, you don't have a Wi-Fi connection, and you could get really frustrated. So put GeoVerify on your phone, definitely, ahead of when you have an assignment. So another app I just started to use is called TripLog. So last week I talked about record keeping and business expenses and things you can write off so that you don't pay as much taxes on your income. Like a good business person should. You should look for all of those ways to reduce your income. And mileage is one of the easiest ways to do that. So you can keep track on a notebook, or, there's lots of ways to keep track of your mileage. But this app, I just tried it for the first time today. It's called TripLog. And it's basically when I get in the car, it starts tracking my distance driving from my home to a mystery shopping assignment. The most fun part for me was when I looked at it after. It showed me the mileage, it showed me where I went to and from, but it also showed me how much money I would be able to write off. So I think today it's like $5.92. Once you take the number of miles I drive, multiply it by, I think it's 57.5 cents per mile. And this is the amount, after you've done this for a whole year, that's going to add up to hundreds of dollars. And it's really no different than keeping track of it on paper. I mean, the amount that you write off is going to be the same whether you use an app or you use a notebook. But it's kind of incentivizing to actually see the dollar amounts in this app, because then I am not going to forget to turn it on when I go on my mystery shopping assignments and keep track of that mileage, because that is all mileage that you can take off on your when you take deductions for your business expenses, and it's really motivating to actually see the dollar amount. So I think that is it. The other thing I use is a Google Sheets, which Google Sheets is like it's the Google version of Microsoft Excel spreadsheets. And so last week I talked about, I have a mystery shopping, like where I keep track of all my assignments and my pay and how much I spent and how much I earned and my mileage. I have a whole spreadsheet. It's divided up for each month of the year. And so that's another thing I use, using Google Sheets. So you could develop your own, or I have been giving it for free if you go to my website. I sent it to everyone who's already signed up on my email list. But if you're a new visitor, you go to my website and you put your email address in to get on the email list. I will send it to you. I have it in a Google Sheets version as well as an Excel version. So if you love Microsoft products, I have it for you that way too. I like the Google Sheets because I'm just so used to using Google products at this point. So I think that is it. I'm going to look and see if there are any questions, because for some reason they don't pop up on my phone. Oh, so okay. So hello from Vermont. Okay, so Kathy asks, are you saying that you can go into the MSP's website and start the report and then save it offline to work on the report with no internet access? Okay, no, if you don't have if you don't have internet access, you can't get into mystery shopping companies, either their apps or their websites, or even Mobi Audit won't open, I don't think, without internet access. But what you can do is you can get your Google Doc or your notes, and you can start typing up the narrative part of the assignment offline. And I do that all the time, like when I'm flying back and forth. Even when I'm flying to Europe for an assignment, I've already started organizing the narrative, like making headings and subheadings, and I can do that offline. And then what I do is when I go back and I am ready to submit the report, I just copy and paste from the Google Doc into the mystery shopping company's website when I'm back online. So yeah, that's a good question. But don't, anytime you're offline, you could still find ways to work, because a lot of these apps can be used without internet connection, but not the mystery shopping company's websites themselves. Okay, so Don asks, are you an employee or or self-employed? So right now, there are some weird laws being passed. I know in California, there's a weird law that's, I don't know. No one really knows what to do with it yet. And I've heard in New Jersey there might be one too, but where they're trying to make self-employed independent contractor people like me and you as a mystery shopper, you're independent contractor. They're trying to make us employees, which, is going to create all sorts of issues, because most mystery shoppers, I have a full-time job. I don't need a second job. And I like the independent contract work because I can do it on my time. It's flexible. Like today I picked up a couple of assignments because I'm done with school. I'm a school teacher, so I'm off for the summer. But there are other times I don't want to work because I have other things going on. And as an independent contractor, you get all that flexibility. So right now we are independent contractors. Hopefully that will not change, because I think it'd complicate things a lot. And Edith is in Germany. So hi, Edith. Hopefully you're having nice summer weather over there. So do you know how to turn on and off Grammarly? Oh, it kills me when I'm typing in German. Oh, yes. Well, on my computer, Grammarly I can disable it or like snooze it. So I'm trying to think. There's probably a setting so that it doesn't automatically start working on everything you type. So you might want to go into the actual app itself and see if there's a way to like manually start it as opposed to it starting on your behalf. Yeah, because that could be really annoying in German. And I wonder if there's one that works, it's specific for other languages. That would be kind of interesting. But yeah, sometimes Grammarly is very active, and I love that, but it can occasionally get in the way. But I like that it's helping me, to make sure things are spelled right. I think it's even better than, like Microsoft Word has spell check, but it won't catch if you're using the right spelling the wrong way. So like there, and there, people use those incorrectly all the time. Well, Microsoft Word will identify that you've spelled it wrong, but it won't tell you that you've actually spelled it right but used it wrong, and Grammarly does. Grammarly also tells you if it's like a run-on sentence. It'll also just tell you if things don't really make sense, which is kind of helpful, especially when you're typing away. Sometimes we get lost in our documents, and it's nice to have a little help. So I think that's it for the questions. So hopefully if you're already on my email list, you've already gotten the spreadsheet, and hopefully you're trying it out and seeing if it's going to be helpful for keeping track of your assignments. If you're new, just go over to my website, which is smartypantsfinance.com. Sign up for the email list, and I will send it today. And I think that is it. I hope everyone is enjoying summer. This is my first week sort of off of work, even though I have a little work I'm supposed to do here and there, but I'm trying to really, enjoy like the sunshine. It's hot in California today, beautiful sunny weather. As soon as I woke up this morning, it was nice and sunny. And so hopefully you are enjoying that kind of thing too, despite the restrictions that we have. Hopefully you're getting outside and spending time with people, either at a distance, or if they're people you live with, spending time with them up close, and really just enjoying summer. So if that is it, we will end for today, but I'll be back next Monday. And I am not exactly sure about what the topic is, but I think we'll continue for at least a few more weeks and, answer all the mystery shopping questions you have, I hope. And really help people to just, hit the ground running and confidently. Anytime you try a new thing like mystery shopping or a new hobby or a new job, it's always kind of nerve-wracking when you don't know how things are supposed to work. So I really just want to help people to feel like it's easier, get out there, make more money, be successful, save money, pay off debt, whatever it is that your goals are, and to do it with less stress and anxiety. So hopefully this has been helpful. So I hope everyone has a great day, and I will see you soon.